Hi everybody and welcome back to Hex Token Channel, your host Superman in the house with another great insight video that we're going to look at how to stake your Hex on three chains. The Ethereum chain, the Ethereum Pow chain, and of course the Ethereum Fair chain, which the last two are both forks of Ethereum Proof of Stake. And of course, if you were lucky enough to have tokens on the Ethereum chain at the time of those particular forks, and then you would have had a free copy of your Hex, Hedron Icosa, and of course many other assets like Maxi as well. So we're going to look at how you can actually stake those all on one dApp on each of those chains. So that's pretty cool. Now, obviously, if you don't own those, if you didn't get them for free, you can buy them on the market. Check out my other two videos on how to buy Hex, for example, on the ETH Pow and ETH Fair chain. I've just released those two as well. Let's get into it, folks. Obviously, we're going to be using a cool dApp, of course, by Alex McFerter. And of course, let's check into how this will work. So pretty much at the moment, you'll have the Ethereum chain. You'll be used to that. And of course, you'll have Hex. You will have Hedron. And of course, Icosa. You may have any combination of those. Maybe you just got Hex. And of course, you'll be able to stake your Hex, stake your Hedron, and stake your Icosa. And of course, you can use the one dApp, of course, App.Icosa.Pro works pretty flawlessly. And of course, you can stake your Hex. You can mint your Hedron off your Hex stakes if you have them. You can stake your Hedron, of course. You can make HSI stakes as well. You can also tokenize and things like that. You can also obviously stake your Icosa as well. So it's pretty neat. And of course, do HSI buybacks and things like that, all on this one dApp. But we're going to focus in on the Hex stakes, of course. Well, now, of course, you may have had a copy of Hex, Hedron, Icosa, etc. Maybe one or all of these on the Ethereum Power Network, depending on what you held at the time. And of course, that means you just got this free copy, free airdrop, basically, as the chain got forked. And of course, you'll be able to stake your Hex as well as those other assets there. Of course, there's a second proof of work chain that forked Ethereum. And of course, that's got Hex, Hedron, and Icosa as well. You'll also be able to stake your Hex in particular, obviously Hedron and Icosa as well, all through the one dApp. Isn't that fantastic? And of course, that was all made possible by Alex McFerter there, the Icosa Hedron developer. And of course, this was on the 16th of September. App.Icosa.Pro has been updated to support ETH for Hex, Hedron, and Icosa. And of course, it now has all forks on there, which is pretty cool. So we appreciate all the work that Alex does there, and pretty neat. And so yeah, we're going to get into that more as well. So let's quickly have a look here at the chain. Obviously, we're going to need to sign on here, and all you have to do, by the way, is just change the blockchain selection in your wallet, which is pretty easy to do. So at the moment, we've got the Ethereum chain selected in our MetaMask wallet, and of course, we're going to use this as an example. All we have to do is connect the wallets. I'm going to hit MetaMask, and of course, going to pop up a ticket. It's going to say select the wallet to use if you've got multiple wallets, and then of course see addresses, account balance, activity, and suggest transactions to approve. Pretty standard stuff. We're going to connect there with that on the Ethereum. Note that I'm on the Ethereum network there. And of course, this means that you're probably used to doing this already. If you use this, obviously you can use the standard Hex interfaces like go.hex, etc. It's pretty cool. And of course, if you had Hex stakes, that would be down the bottom here, and you'd be able to see them. Of course, you can mint your Hedron as well, mintable Hedron on top of that. So not only can you stake your Hex, you can make new stakes. You can put the amount of Hex in. Let's say you had 10,000 Hex. You can also click the max Hex there. You can select the length. Let's say you wanted to do a 555 stake, which is the maximum length. You can also select the type, native Hex, or an HSI encapsulated one, which is specifically unique to the Hedron there. That will give you the bigger pays better, longer pays better, and the amount of T-shares you got. And then, of course, you will be able to have to approve the spend if you've not used this before. And then, of course, you will then be able to stake this as well. It's pretty cool. Obviously, other functions you can do is mint the Hedron. You can mint them on an individual basis or on an all basis by clicking the mint button. That's just going to mint the Hedron that you get every day. If you've got a new stake, it's going to be 1 Hex per B share per day served. Obviously, if you've got a launch bonus up to 10x, you'd be having that benefit as well. The actions, of course, you'll be able to mint the Hedron individually, or you can click the mint all button. The other function, of course, is you can end stake as well, which you've got to be very careful with, obviously, depending on which chain you're on. So you always got to make sure you're careful about which chain you're on. So that's pretty much it. Obviously, you can do Hedron as well, and you can make HSI stakes there. You can see that, and of course, tokenize those as well. All those features there if you have Hedron copied over, or if you've bought Hedron as well. Icosa, of course, has still got Icosa staking there, everything that you're used to as well, including Hedron staking also. And of course, if you've got your Wattses, you'll have those copied as well. And then HSI buybacks, of course, you can still do that as well by selling tokenized HSI stakes in return for Icosa. And of course, you can stake that. So everything's the same. They're on Ethereum, and of course, that's pretty neat. Now, the other cool thing, of course, is that it is now on the Ethereum Pow and Ethereum Fair network. So all you have to do is add that. So we're going to go to the Ethereum Pow network, ethw.mainnet. I'm assuming that you've actually done that. I'll leave the links in the video description there. You can jump onto our Discord as well. Discord under useful links. It will have all the details there. And of course, you can just go down to the bottom here, and you will see at the bottom all the details that you need to add the Ethereum Pow network to your MetaMask. And of course, you just have to go to settings, add a new network, and add a network, and you'll be able to add that in. Also, the Ethereum Fair network details are there as well for adding that network. So assuming you've done that, you'll be able to see all these, of course, and interact with these blockchains. You'll have to import the contracts into the MetaMask if you want to see these actual assets there. Otherwise, you can just check the blockchain for that. So we're going to jump over here. So we've already just swapped this over. And of course, we are now on the Ethereum Pow network. And of course, we have access to all the same things. We can create a new stake, as I say, on the Ethereum Pow network if we had hex in there. And of course, we can set the stack length, we can set the type, and so forth. So just repeat the same process. Very much, that's how easy it is. You just swap over the mainnet there, and as well. And obviously, Hedron applies if you've got Hedron, and Icosa as well. So it all works pretty nicely there. Now, the final thing, of course, is that you can also do the Ethereum Fair network. You've just got to swap over to the chain to Ethereum Fair. And of course, once you've done that, if you've got hex in there, you will be able to go through. It will reset. You can see it's resetting nicely. If it doesn't like your network, it's just going to reject that and say that it's invalid there. I'm going to show you that in a second. And of course, you can go through, mint all your Hedron, or you can do it individually under the actions. Create a stake, of course, just as you normally would. And of course, that will set up on the Ethereum Fair network, and you'll earn interest based on the hex contract, which was forked over as well using the same contract address. So that's pretty neat. Obviously, you can do Hedron and Icosa as well. Pretty neat. So that's how simple it is. Really, really easy. As I say, just change the blockchain selection in your wallet. Just got to be very careful, particularly if you're in staking. You've got to make sure that you're on the right chain. If you decide under whatever circumstance, up to you what you do. Obviously, we suggest just keeping the stake to maturity. But if you emergency in stake early, just got to make sure you're on the right chain, because obviously the Ethereum chain is much more valuable with the price of hex versus, and of course the T-share cost versus the price on the Ethereum Pow and Ethereum Fair network. Obviously, much cheaper in terms of price there. Much lower in terms of price. That's very important. So let's say that I put it on a chain that doesn't qualify. So let's try the smart chain, and let's see whether that works. So cool. No, not supported. So I changed it over to the smart chain. Said not supported, and you can see the chains that are supported here. You're currently connected to an unsupported network. Please change the networks to supported network. The Icosa application supports the following networks: Ethereum, Ethereum Pow, Ethereum Fair, Pulse Chain, of course, and Pulse Chain Testnet. So these are the Pulse Chain ones, of course. This one here is the current testnet that we're currently on. Obviously, that's talking about in the future. It will be available for Pulse Chain. But at the moment, it's available for these three networks, which is pretty neat. Like, again, if I change it to another chain, let's say I changed it to Polygon. Let's see whether it accepts that. And no, it doesn't. So as you can see, it only supports Ethereum Proof of W, and Ethereum Fair there. And of course, if you are lucky enough to get copies of your tokens on those chains, Hex, Hedron, Icosa, you'll be able to use that dApp as well. So that's a pretty quick video, under 10 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And a big shout out to Alex for making that possible. Super fast. And of course, if you want all the details, get into our Discord link in the video description and jump over to useful links if you want to add the networks and things like that. And we've got all the links here and useful links here on the Discord. All right, take care, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, of course, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.